Another trade happened in the NBA today that has a bit of significance, so I just decided I would talk about it. It involves sending former MVP Derrick Rose from the Detroit Pistons to the New York Knicks for Derek Smith Jr. and draft considerations, which are probably just going to be a second-round pick. Who do I think won this trade? For now, the Knicks, because Derrick Rose is averaging almost 15 points a game. He's a fantastic playmaker. The Knicks don't have a great playmaker on their team, no offense to Elfrid Payton. But it also kind of makes sense for the Pistons, who are rebuilding. They need a young point guard. The Knicks just disregard Dennis Smith Jr. now. They haven't played him. They sent him down to the G League, and now he's gone. And the second-round pick probably won't amount to nothing, especially with the Knicks being the ones drafting. And as a Knicks fan, I have mixed feelings about this. I love Derrick Rose. I have his Knicks jersey from when he was here last, like as you can see in the picture. I love this trade for the Knicks for now, but what are they going to do with Immanuel Quickley, who's been playing so well this season in so few minutes? Having 2 point guards ahead of Immanuel Quickley, I don't know if that is going to work for the Knicks rotation, for Immanuel Quickley's potential, for his improvement. I just don't know what the point of that, because Elfrid Payton has been starting over, Immanuel Quickley so far this season, and with Derrick Rose on the team now, I can only think that Derrick Rose is going to be the one starting, not Elfrid Payton, and they have Alec Burks at the 2. I think Immanuel Quickley will play a bit of the 2 now, but I don't know how much, so my only hope is that they trade Elfrid Payton at the trade deadline, maybe for a better shooting guard as good as Alec Burks is. No offense to him. He's a great player, but I want a little more from him. Maybe they trade him. Maybe they trade Elfrid Payton, and I heard they're shopping Julius Randle. Maybe they're looking for a young star shooting guard. Maybe they're trying to trade for a Devin Booker sort of player. I don't think that's going to happen, but it might be what they are going towards at the moment. I'm not really sure. I think Derrick Rose will be a great mentor to Immanuel Quickley, but just having 2 points ahead of him just doesn't really make sense to me. Now, for the Detroit Pistons, they got Dennis Smith Jr., who in the past has been a good point guard. He played very well when he was on the Mavericks, and in his first season and a bit for the Knicks, he's kind of just fallen off a little bit. He hasn't gotten any minutes this season. He wanted to go down to the G League, so the Knicks sent him down to the G League. And then they traded him to the Pistons. I think for the Pistons, this is a good team. This is a good trade because we've seen Dennis Smith Jr. play well. And we've seen him play well, and if he can continue or get close to that again, I think it will be good. I don't think it should be too difficult because you're playing in the most embarrassing franchise in the NBA at the moment in Detroit. I mean, they're just awful. I think they're probably going to try to get rid of Blake Griffin. How easy that will be, I don't know, with his huge contract. That might be a little difficult, but I think they're going to try to move him. They want to be young. Dennis Smith Jr., Jeremy Grant. They have Killian Hayes, who they drafted this year, which I don't know who they want to run this through. If they're going to play one of them at the 2, I mean, Killian Hayes isn't going to play again this season. He is hurt for the rest of the season. Hopefully it isn't bad for him because he wasn't playing that bad of basketball. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't, awful. And I don't know what they're going to do with that, why they need another young point guard. Maybe they're going to play one at the 2. I don't know. I mean, the Pistons are just abysmal. They're just an awful franchise at the moment. But I do like this trade for them. And the second-round pick, if it's a second-round pick, I don't think it's official yet what it is. It's just draft considerations, so it might be a first. I highly doubt it. But it's probably a second, maybe even 2 seconds. I don't know. It might amount to something. It might not. There are plenty of great second-round picks who are great NBA players at the moment, players like Jokic, Marcus Gasol, just to name a couple. But I don't think it'll amount to too much, especially with Detroit drafting. They're not a very good drafting team. But I do like the trade for them and the Dennis Smith Jr. aspect of it. I think it's a good trade for both teams. Both teams won in a couple of aspects, and both teams also lost in a couple of aspects. A lot of people are mad about this trade because who doesn't love D. Rose? Everyone loves Derrick Rose, and they want him to get a ring, and they don't think New York is the best place for him to get this ring, and they're not wrong. New York isn't a contender. I'm a Knicks fan. That hurts to say, but it's the truth. They're not a contender. They're a playoff team. They were a playoff team before they got D Rose. They're 100% a playoff team now that they have him. But they're not a championship team. Derrick Rose is a free agent. I don't know. He might not even be a Knick by the end of the year. They might trade him. I honestly have no idea. They might want to just get a first for him because they might be able to pull that off. I think he will be here at the end of the year, though. I think the fact that Tom Thibodeau and Taj Gibson are on the Knicks is probably something. I saw this Instagram post. I'm gonna pull that up real quick. I'm gonna be candid when I say I have no idea who made this post, but it's really nice. And I think the fact that Tom Thibodeau, probably his favorite coach, is the coach of the Knicks at the moment. The fact that one of his good friends, Taj Gibson, is on the Knicks at the moment probably had something to do with this. Because a player like D Rose, you don't just trade without telling him, like the Bulls did back in 2016, which is not okay. I think he probably had a little say in this. Like, he probably wanted to go to New York a little bit. He'll be a fantastic mentor for Emmanuel Quickley, which I feel he's just a great mentor. I think it's a shame for Killian Hayes that he's not going to be there for him, but he will be great for Emmanuel Quickley. I think Quick's minutes will drop a little bit, which is sad, but I don't think Elfrid Payton's going to be a Knicks very soon, which should be okay. And the Knicks turn the ball over just so much, and I think that's partly because Payton isn't the best, playmaker for the Knicks, while D Rose, I think he is that guy. So I'm just very happy for this trade. I think both sides did well, to be honest. It's kind of a win-win trade from my point of view. So comment down below what you think. I just want to hear what other people have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I post 1 to 2 videos a week, which is pretty cool. So make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment down below your thoughts on the trade, anything else you want to just say. Like the video, because that's just a nice thing to do. Hit the notification bell so you never miss another epic video. And I post everything about the NBA if you're new here, which you might be. I post a lot of stuff about the NBA predictions. I'll talk about trades. The trade deadline is going to be a very busy time. I'm not going to talk about each individual trade like I have so far for the big trades that have happened, but I'll just kind of put them all in one video. I've talked about All-Star predictions. It's just pretty cool. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. If not, thanks for watching, and remember to stay real.